Most viewers of this channel know that last year I was able to track down the Tonk. With over 1 million views on that video, it's clear that we've been able to put the mystery behind its location to rest. However, there's another tank meme, even more mysterious, that's been lurking in the shallows. Today, we begin the search for the most well-known meme tank, the Panzer of the Lake.
Throughout history, there have been countless tanks, all designed to kill. But not all have been a success. What happened to the ones that never made it? And why did they fail? My name is Konavark. Join me as we journey through time, uncovering failed projects and forgotten creations in Cursed by Design.
Hundreds of memes have been made with this one image. There's even been variations made over the years like Senpai of the Pool, just to name one. Every time I see one of these memes though, I can never shake the urge to learn the story behind it. If finding the Tonk was like Indiana Jones finding the Ark of the Covenant, then the Panzer of the Lake would be like finding the Holy Grail. Unfortunately, unlike the Tonk, Google Maps will be all but useless in this search. Despite this, we still have enough evidence to begin the hunt. Most people would probably think to start with the tank. However, I believe we can gather more information from observing the soldier standing near it. Using what he has on his body, we can use it to help connect the other details in the photo to try to pinpoint when this photo may have been taken. If we can figure out when it was taken, it will significantly help with the where portion of the search. To do this, we need to play Steal His Look World War II Edition. The quality of the photo and angle makes exactly identifying his uniform tricky. I think I was able to get close though. For his pants, he appears to be wearing some form of winter-style clothing based on the color and shape, although due to it being black and white, it's hard to say exactly. His shirt appears to be a fairly standard German tunic, although without anything on the shoulders, which is common with most Wehrmacht military attire. Again, this could just be the angle. On his head, he has what looks to be a German M34 standard cap. All this combined leads me to believe this has to be a soldier fighting on the Axis side. The next thing we can observe is his rifle. Although quite low resolution, it's easy to identify as a Kar 98. You can clearly make out the distinct shape, and the dead giveaway is the disassembly disc which is pressed into the stock. One key detail you might miss is he appears to have lost the cleaning rod for the gun. This is probably unimportant, but it's still worth mentioning. Finally, we get to the tank, although I have to say that this tank has caused me more frustration than I expected. We can gather so much information from it, yet at the same time, any hint that would make this search easier seems to be hidden by the angles of the photo. If you don't understand what I mean by that, let me explain. The first order of business was identifying what tank it was. This was fairly easy, and most of you watching will likely already know the answer. It's a Panzer IV. The Panzer IV was produced by Germany from 1936 to 1945, with about 10 different versions being made throughout the years. Obviously, this doesn't help narrow down the time frame much, but thankfully we can tell what variant it is by looking at some of the features of the tank. The first giveaway is the gun. The cannon this particular tank has is called the 7.5cm KWK-37 L24. We can tell this because of the size and shape of the gun, as well as the distinct external mantlet on the turret front. This means it has to at least be a Panzer IV-D, since the earlier models had an internal mantlet. Next, we can look at the turret roof. The prominent cylinder-shaped piece here is yet more proof that this is a D variant, as the later models did not have them. What fully proved this tank to be a D are these two other photos I managed to locate, which another user managed to find and post on a thread about the Panzer of the Lake. These two photos were apparently sold on eBay, with the claim of them being from the Western Front in 1940, and I'm convinced they must be the same tank. The turret position and model match up exactly. Some of you may say the bank is too steep, however in the original image we have no way of knowing how the riverbank actually looks due to the angle of the photo. That and the fact that both tanks have no markings on them aside from the Balkenkreuz on the side is enough for me to feel confident in saying that they are the same vehicle. Regardless, these photos prove it to be a Panzer IV-D due to the shape of the hull. This hull style with the protruding driver's position was only briefly used for the D before being replaced by a new design with the later models. The Panzer IV-E did have the same shape for the front, however it was up-armored with additional plating which this tank clearly does not have. You can also see behind the tank in both images something in the water. Likely this is whatever they used to attempt to float it across the river before it sank. That doesn't really help us in our hunt, but at least tells us that this wasn't the tank falling through the ice like I've seen some suggest. We can also get some information about the terrain around the river from the backgrounds of the 3 photos. We can see a fairly tall hill as well as trees, meaning this was in slightly more mountainous country. This is where things get tricky though. I was able to reverse image search the 2 eBay images on Yandex and I got a hit on one of them. However, this also contradicts what the user who I found the images originally from claimed about the eBay listing. What I found was a Russian source with the image, although no caption detailing it further unfortunately, but it gives us a somewhat more exact location. This source is discussing fighting that occurred at the onset of Operation Barbarossa in Romania. This complicates things because Germany had the D model of the Panzer IV in both the Western Front during 1940 and the early combat on the Eastern Front. I personally think, given the fact that the initial claim was made on Reddit based on something said by an eBay seller, we can shift a bit more legitimacy towards the idea of the tank being in Romania in 1941. A look at the surrounding terrain of the river also shows some similarities to the image, although this sort of terrain is fairly common throughout the European continent. One small additional detail I can provide that further lends some credibility to the tank being in Romania is the addition of this image I was able to find, which shows some German units crossing the Prut River as far as I can tell. The Russian source which contained the image of the sunken tank also mentions the German and Romanian units crossing the Prut River in July. I'm sorry to say that the trail went cold after these finds. I was extremely surprised by how much I was able to uncover, including the new images, because I genuinely never thought I would be able to find anything else about this tank. Due to the sheer number of memes made using the original image, it makes reverse image searching it to find anything of substance nearly impossible, unfortunately. So I'm extremely disappointed to leave you without a solid answer to the location of this mythical tank. Unlike the Tonk, the Panzer of the Lake almost certainly was recovered, and today no trace of it will exist. There's some hope though. I believe as a community we can succeed where I have failed. So I challenge all of you, especially those of you that live in the areas surrounding the Prut River, to join me in the hunt. Although it may be a fairly insignificant image from so many years ago, if we can succeed in our hunt, it will bring back another piece of history we may have lost otherwise. To show my commitment, I am offering anyone who can find definitive proof of a location for this tank $100 US, and an invitation to assist me in making a second part to this video unveiling its location. I encourage all of you who wish to begin the search to join my Discord using the link below. I'll be creating a special chat specifically for us to collaborate, as well as a chat for all the information I've gathered so far and any concrete evidence we find in the future. Thank you all for watching. I normally don't ask you to share my videos, but considering how important spreading this information is if we want to find this lost bit of history, please do share it with as many people as you can. I want to give a special thanks to all of my YouTube members who helped vote on this topic to be featured this month. You guys really make this channel and this type of content possible, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you get notified when I hopefully can make a follow-up to this video showing the world the location of the single biggest tank meme on the internet. I hope you all join in our hunt. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.